All right. So let us settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. We're at the end of the week. I don't know what kind of week you guys have had. Just hope it's been great, productive, happy, restful, Coral. And I don't know if you'll know, but Coral has you have a farm, right? So she works very, very hard, physically, very, very hard, as well as other ways as well. She makes things for the market and cooks a lot of things and I mean, I think you weren't you the one that did all the landscaping for the center as well? Yeah, so many skills there. All right. So if you are seated at your desk, have your feet, planted on the floor. Try and feel the soles of the feet and the side of the foot, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and all your toe pads and shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. A nice deep breath. Just go to the crown of the head and just relax your scalp and the forehead, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, the mouth, the back of the jaw, the back of the head, the back of the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, and all of your limbs. And notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And just be aware of any sounds in your environment. Just allowing those sounds to be there. Trying not to follow with the mind. Trying to put some space in between those thoughts. So try not to judge what's going on in the mind or what you experienced. Whether you're feeling embarrassed about something or whether you're feeling angry about something. Just allowing those thoughts to be there. Just be gentle with yourself. And just don't judge what's there. Just, look objectively. Just observe. Just notice what's there. And then as we do every night, just bring to mind all those people of your life, the ones you love, the ones you don't love. And then there are strangers. And just be curious, has anybody changed place in the last few months? Any of those relationships, have they interchanged? And think that despite of how how you might be thinking about any one of these individual groups. They're all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity as well. So we start with the power of regret, and sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to this beautiful Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods, his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and they're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and just have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to sort of result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy. So this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that any harm you've done with your body, to any sentient being, is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So one of the things that I find so delightful about swimming for the Cancer Society is that it's actually something that I can do with my body to be of benefit. And like even if, because I'm raising money for the Cancer Society, that feels like I'm using my body by swimming. Feels like I'm using my body to be of benefit. So there's many different ways in which you can use your body. So of course, when I'm swimming through the water, I imagine I'm reciting mantras. There's so many dead creatures in there because it's an outdoor pool. So, there's many, many things that you can do to benefit others with your body. It includes cooking a meal for somebody with that kind of motivation. So, just wanted to add that. Purification of speech. Again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs. All of this is purified, by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama mimutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just imagine you walk into a pitch black room, you just flick on the switch, turn on the light, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So you imagine the same thing. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness and anger and depression and bitterness and grudges and resentments, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And then think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So here is a very subtle level. So imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and this fills you completely and eradicates even these very subtle imprints of negative energy from your mental continuum. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to not harm becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So, first of all, rejoice in your efforts coming along here this evening. For some of you, it's really late. So that's just, it's always kind of blows my mind. And then just think of something you've maybe been kind of chewing away at or working on, and maybe just, look at it from a different angle. Think about what serves you, to work on that's kind of harmful that you'd like to sort of refrain from? And I think for most people, it's going to be sort of how we direct our thoughts towards ourselves, negative self-talk. So sometimes we're so far down that story, we can't even see what we're doing. It's just this constant murmur underneath a bunch of other thoughts. So just be aware that that's possibly there and maybe try and counteract it. And one of the things that, one of the name for mantra is mind protection. So if you can't quite direct your mind in the way that you want to because there's so much going on there, you can recite a mala of medicine Buddha or Chinrezig or Mani Padme Hum. It just keeps the mind occupied in a more positive way. So there's ways we can counteract some of these things if we can't quite get on top of it. So this determination to not do again gives us this kind of strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next Rinpoche would always talk about, we think about emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So now we'll do our chanting the names of Manjushri for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation. The whole, aware of self, aware of other, for fit for all, he is the best of men, surpassing all to which he is compared, supreme most lord of knowing and what's known, the foremost master of imparting Dharma, who shows the meaning of the fourfold seal, the most revered amongst all living beings, engaged in going forth on all three paths. With glory purified by ultimate truth, most fortunate within the threefold world, the celebrated source of all endowments, supreme among the glorious Manjushri. Woohoo, we're up to 11. Fantastic. See, it does go. And then, we've all done one verse. Actually, because each one of us is chanting them, it multiplies. So that's really cool. Anyway, we've done however many recitations there are of people in the room. So by the time we finished, we were done like 20 something. I think it's really cool. But I don't know if those people are coming every night, but anyway. And so let's just dedicate for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all those people, teachers in your life who are helping us so much. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Good night, sweet dreams, and have a beautiful weekend. Okay, thank you so much for hosting, Michael, Shayla, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay, bye.